All right, and live from the Kenyatta University Communication Center, you are just in time for the Friday night KUTV Prime Time News on this 26th day of September within this month that doubles up also as the International Day for Deaf Awareness. And right here at KUTV, we do stay in keeping with this, and on the sign language interpretation, we'll be sailing through with Francis Okinya, ensuring that all comes as it should. But first, let's take a look at tonight's top stories. The UDA party unveils November 27 by-election candidates under Deputy President Kithure Kindiki's watch.
We are now expanded and we have been cooperating with other parties.
National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula rallies Western leaders to embrace unity for progress. Women's Economic Empowerment Hub, WeHub, releases a 5-year research findings on women empowerment. And the Kenya Human Rights Commission moves to court to stop mandatory housing levy. All right, my name is Emmanuel Kutosi, also extending the invite for you to join us on our social media handles as KTV_Kenya on the X platform and KUTV Kenya on Facebook. Now, the United Democratic Alliance UDA has unveiled its candidates for the November 27th by-elections at its Nairobi headquarters. Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki presided over the issuance of nomination certificates, urging aspirants to conduct peaceful campaigns and respect voters as the party reaffirms its democratic credentials.
Presenting the certificates, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki said the broad-based administration remains united and committed to credible leadership anchored on prosperity, accountability, and the aspirations of the Kenyan people.
We are now expanded and we have been cooperating with other parties under the broad-based administration. We have made concessions so that our partners in the broad-based administration will, on our behalf, field candidates in Ugunja and Kasipul, as well as Magarini.
He restated UDA's foundation on the bottom-up economic model, highlighting steady progress in its 3-year agenda. Kindiki described the party's manifesto as bold and transformational, shaped by national consultations, and pledged commitment to deliver despite challenges.
We have made significant progress in the realization and the implementation of our agenda, which we deliberately committed ourselves to 3 years ago. We went around the country, conducted county-level forums, had a lot of engagements with professionals and other stakeholders, and came up with one of the most transformational, most ambitious manifestos ever pledged anywhere, as far as I know.
Party chairperson Cecily Mbarire defended the integrity of UDA primaries, dismissing tampering claims as baseless. She emphasized the party's adoption of digital systems to boost transparency with the ambition of becoming Africa's first party to conduct fully digital nominations.
And Your Excellency, I also want to say that we are the first political party, sir, to do digitally backed nomination where we were getting real-time results of what was going on in each polling station during the day of nomination. And so by the close of business, we were able to know who had won and who hadn't won.
The UDA Secretary General Hassan Omar echoed the party's commitment to democracy and service delivery, expressing confidence in securing a second term. He revealed ongoing cooperation with ODM under the broad-based framework, noting the arrangement reduces clashes and strengthens coalition unity in upcoming contests.
I think, Professor, it is suffice to say that in some other seats, we are working in collaboration with the ODM party. So we have agreed with the ODM party that they will run in some elections and not field candidates as UDA, and we will run in other elections and not field candidates as ODM, so that we can be able to join our efforts to ensure that we work as a team to demonstrate the spirit of the broad-based government.
The leaders reaffirmed UDA's unity, innovation and commitment to democracy, pledging credible leadership and peaceful campaigns ahead of the November 27 by-elections. Edna Nerea, KUTV, Nairobi.
And still in keeping with political beats, National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula has rallied Western Kenyan leaders to embrace unity, saying it's the surest path for political recognition and development. Wetangula, joined by Kenya Kwanza leaders, spoke in Lugari, Kakamega County during a women empowerment program hosted by area MP Nabi Nabwera. National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula reminded residents of Kakamega County that the speakership is the third highest office in Kenya, urging the Luhya community not to underestimate its influence in national politics, as he called for unwavering support for President William Ruto's government, which he has said has prioritized development in Western Kenya.
Na sisi tumesema na nataka kurudia, siasa ya chuki, siasa ya matusi, siasa ya hasira, siasa ya kujigamba, siasa ya kikabila haina nafasi katika Kenya yetu. Kila ulipo lazima uwe na haki ya kusema mimi ni Mkenya kama wewe.
Praising a number of projects in the Western Belt, Wetangula said the region is already witnessing visible gains, adding that the revival of sugar factories will ensure farmers are paid promptly for their cane. Senate Majority Leader Aaron Cheruiyot and members of parliament from across the Western Kenya echoed the unity call, stressing that economic empowerment and national projects are tied to the Kenya Kwanza administration bottom-up agenda.
Wewe kama mwananchi na mpiga kura, unataka utengenezewe barabara, unataka vijana wako wapate kazi, unataka kuuza mazalisho yake kutoka kwa shamba kwa bei nafuu. Kila mtu anafukuza maslahi yake. Hata sisi wanasiasa pia tunafukuza maslahi yetu.
Women leaders, including Kakamega woman representative Elsie Mohanda, said government initiatives are transforming lives through circles and self-help groups, urging leaders to stay united for progress. The underlying message remained clear: for the Luhya community to secure a bigger stake in national leadership and development. Unity under the Kenya Kwanza administration is being fronted as their political pathway. As the Luhya leaders continue to drum up unity, the political undertone is unmistakable. Western Kenya is being positioned as a critical voting bloc for President William Ruto's 2027 re-election bid. Elsewhere, former President Uhuru Kenyatta has raised concern that progress made under his administration is being eroded. He cited programs such as Linda Mama, which he said have been replaced by untested initiatives that slow development and burden Kenyans. Addressing a special Jubilee National Delegates Convention in Nairobi, Uhuru announced that the party will field candidates in all positions in the 2027 polls, while affirming its continued membership in the Azimio coalition, while promising further direction in due course.
Amongst many others. In health, our Linda Mama, the removal of maternity fees in our health centers gave and saw great improvement in maternal health and improved child mortality rates. Our management equipment services saw medical equipment such as dialysis machines, scanning machines, laboratories, and other equipment become available to distant corners of our country, with counties like Mandera being able to carry out cesarean sections and other such operations for the first time since independence. In education, we restored the sanctity of our exams. We maintained the free primary, a deepened an interagency approach, thereby ensuring that our security agencies were better able to handle both domestic and external threats. This machine that we built, however, was not to be used and designed to face its own citizens, and it is not supposed to have been a source of fear and conflict with our citizens. Ilikuwa ya kulinda wananchi, sio kuumiza.
And on to matters education, where a new platform, Jukwaa la Masomo, has been launched in Nyeri County to give college students a voice on challenges affecting them. County Commissioner Nicholas Muiwawi, speaking at the inaugural event, stressed the need to sensitize youth on government structures and opportunities such as the Nyota program. Student leaders, including His Excellency Karatina University Student President Mark Collins Kalama, discussed unemployment, drug abuse, and the importance of sex education and mental health support.
I think the first engagement that we are having today, it was more of like a litmus test, just to get to know what are the needs, and from the needs assessment we have done, in our next engagement, we are going to bring more departmental heads who can articulate on different issues as per what their ministries or departments and agencies are doing, so that it can also be a way of mentoring our university students, so that as they complete their learning process, they can also get to know what careers can they build on and how to get to public service.
And we are now able to know how to address our issues, where to start with, how to go about it. And we've also learned that these police officers, starting with our county commander, that they are human beings. We can be able to engage them as human beings, and they can also be able to give us feedback so that we are able to coexist harmoniously. So we are going to engage our university counselors, we are going to engage our lecturers on how we can be able to guide students, counsel them.
Education will extend beyond our borders, where Kenya's Trade and Industry Cabinet Secretary Lee Kinyanjui is on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York, held talks with top U.S. apparel retailers, importers, and the American Apparel and Footwear Association. The round table, organized by Ken Invest and Gatsby, focused on the looming expiry of the AGOA trade pact on the 30th of September. Importers called for renewal or a temporary extension, while Kinyanjui affirmed Kenya's commitment to deepen U.S. trade ties, boost textile competitiveness, and expand the apparel exports. Right here within the Premier Kenyatta University, the Women Economic Empowerment Hub has concluded a 5-year research program unveiling findings from 13 projects across Kenya. The research highlights gains in women's leadership and policy reform, but also persistent barriers hindering gender equality and economic empowerment. Yvonne Kemuma with this story.
The Kenyatta University Women's Economic Empowerment Hub, KU WeHub, has now concluded its flagship research initiative that sought to shed light on what works to advance women economic empowerment in the country, with a milestone event at the Kenyatta University Conference Center.
Working on 14 research projects.
The initiative delivered 13 projects that generated evidence and policy solutions to strengthen women participation in leadership, governance, and economic development.
We also want to appreciate.
Some notable achievements include progress at the Public Service Commission owing to research, which moved from 1/3 female staff to 50-50 gender balance, increased women leadership in counties such as Kutv and Bomet, and stronger engagements of gender advocacies in budget processes.
Year 2020, when we started this project, the public service, the Kenya Public Service, which is the employer for the Kenya government, was picking women at the 1/3 ratio. If you recall, 1/3 ratio was President Kibaki's clarion call.
The hub also identified barriers facing women entrepreneurs, including over-licensing of MSMEs, sparking county-level reforms. A pioneering 2020 study on unpaid care work revealed heavy burdens on women, leading to a draft policy framework.
For me, coming from the research division, I look at it that this project was more of an ideal situation of what research really ought to be. It had all the components of an ideal situation when you have all the funding that you have. In the sense that from the beginning, I remember there were sessions on sharpening the proposals and aligning it in such a way that not only will you do research, but it has to make impact in the community. And so it went through all those steps so that the research went from the proposal to actual implementation of projects to impact on the ground.
Speaking on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Paul Wainaina, the KU Deputy Vice Chancellor of Research, Professor Caroline Thurua, praised the hub's importance.
Besides, the credible work of the researchers in this project has greatly enhanced Kenyatta University's position as a key research partner in Kenya, the region, and globally. Ladies and gentlemen, women's economic empowerment is not just a matter of equity. It is a catalyst for broader development. Studies worldwide, including those presented here, show that when women thrive economically, households become more resilient, children's education and health outcomes improve, and national economies grow stronger.
Supported by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the hub has positioned women economic empowerment not just as academic research, but as a catalyst for real change, having a foundation for sustainable gender equality across the country.
Supported by your division.
Yvonne Kemuma, KUTV.
Thank you, Yvonne Kemuma for that report that takes us to fast break right here on the Friday edition of the KUTV Prime Time News. It being the International Deaf Awareness Month, we continue to celebrate the different ways we are able to connect. This is KUTV. We'll be back in a moment.
Ukakamavu wake, ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake, nami Caroline Emmanuel.
Miti. Panda. Miti. Our planet's future is in our hands. However, there is a threat to the brightness of this tomorrow. On EarthCheck, we share the challenges, the solutions, and the hope.
I would call this a very momentous day, a very critical day.
Every episode, every story, every step we take creates a ripple. Join me, the environmentalist Emmanuel Kutosi, on KUTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and be part of Welcome. Welcome back to the Friday edition of the KUTV Prime Time News. Now, the Kenya Human Rights Commission, alongside 4 civil society groups, have petitioned the High Court to stop the government's mandatory housing levy. The organizations argue the levy is unconstitutional, socially regressive, and worsens poverty among struggling Kenyans. They say it unfairly burdens salaried workers while shielding political elites, eroding incomes needed for food, healthcare, and education. The petition also cites official data showing job losses in the construction sector, contradicting the government's claims of growth. And still on economical trends, Kenya's coastal counties have been urged to harness the blue economy to create jobs and spur sustainable growth, with the European Union and Germany pledging continued support. Speaking at the Blue Innovation and Investment Summit in Mombasa County, stakeholders highlighted the sector's vast potential and the challenges ahead.
Coastal counties in Kenya have been urged to step up investments in the blue economy to create jobs, attract investment, and promote sustainable growth. This call was made during the Blue Innovation and Investment Summit in Mombasa County, where the European Union and Germany reaffirmed their support for the sector's development. European Union Ambassador Harriet urged Kenya to fully utilize its marine resources, highlighting missed opportunities like fish exports to the EU. Germany's Alexander Farley stressed the blue economy's role in sustainable growth. Sote Hub's David Ogege praised the summit for fostering public-private partnerships.
Sustainability. But we have also, as EU now, we have started a new program of 8.8 billion Kenyan shillings, which is called the Sustainable Western Indian Ocean Program, and Kenya is part of it. Why do we do this in a regional way? Because we think that, of course, you cannot only isolate one country.
Henry said that the EU urges Kenya to embrace its blue economy potential, noting that the country still imports fish despite having duty-free exports access to the EU. Supported by 8.8 billion shillings regional program, Germany emphasizes the sector's importance for job creation and climate resilient sustainable growth in coastal communities.
Actually, Germany has been involved in marine conservation, fisheries governance, coastal community development for quite some time. We started actually in 2020 through GIZ, and we have partnered with the government of Kenya on supporting coastal communities and to unlock the vast potential that is there.
Alexander said that the blue economy is a vital engine for sustainable and inclusive growth in Kenya and Africa. With its youthful population, Kenya's coastal region stands to benefit greatly by scaling up investments in the blue sector to create jobs and promote development.
Now, a family in Teso South is decrying a court decision to release on bond a suspect accused of brutally assaulting their daughter. The alleged attacker and the former lover of the victim was freed on a Kenya shilling 200,000 bond despite claims he broke both her hands and left her in severe pain.
A family in Teso South is protesting a Malaba court ruling that free a sexual assault suspect on a bond of 200,000. The accused, Onesmus Oti, allegedly brutalized his former lover, breaking both her hands and leaving her in a critical pain.
mtusaidie.
Speaking outside the Malaba court, Justin Aluku and Rason Ejakat, relative of the victim, said they fear the suspect may flee to a neighboring country, Uganda, an act that will frustrate the pursuit of justice. However, they appeal to the community and leaders from Teso South, including MP Emmanuel Women Representative Catherine Omanyo, to work together with organizations advocating for the right of women and children to ensure justice is served.
I'm appealing to them wenye wanahusika na gender-based violence. Mimi naona haki itendee msichana wangu, kwa sababu kama wasikia na hii imeni affect kama mzazi, wakuja waniingilie. Me have no lawyer, sina capability ya kutafuta lawyer, bila wao wametafuta lawyer, wanakuja wanamwaga pesa kwa sababu hao wako na uwezo. Mimi sina uwezo ya pesa, wanisaidie kwa sababu mtoto wangu amevunjwa mkono yote, hawezi kubeba mtoto, hawezi kujilisha na mulisha sahi. Sina pesa ya kumtafutia hata mtu wa kumsaidia. Mimi naomba wanisaidie, wakili wenye wanahusika na gender-based violence watokeze, wajitokeze watusaidie. Naomba women rep wa Busia County Mama Catherine Omanyo, mahali popote unisikie na unisaidie, ujitokeze unisaidie, kwa sababu huyu ni mama mwenzako amevunjwa hata very tender age.
Amedhulumiwa kwa sababu atakunyonyesha mtoto kwenye shida. Kwa hivyo tunaomba kama serikali mtusaidie ili tuweze kupata haki yetu kama familia.
The proceeding of the case also featured a statement from the victim, who said she had suffered greatly after both her hands were broken, pleading for justice so that she does not continue living in fear.
Assist me get justice that I deserve, because I have 2 kids who demand much attention from me and also myself. This is the second incident that has happened. In 2021, the same happened, but we had a mutual agreement as families, and we decided to get our way forward. But it has happened the second time, and from the look of things, it's like I was losing my life. From the witnesses, they are saying I collapsed for like 3 hours. That's why I woke up confused, and I was walking like somebody was mentally ill.
In addition, during the hearing, the suspect denied the charges before Senior Principal Magistrate Ocharo Mumanyo. Despite objection from the family, the court released him on a bond of 200,000. The family now insists that the case should not be politicized but instead be pursued fairly, so that their daughter attains justice, comfort, and restoration of her dignity. Rael Makona, KUTV.
And still within the corridors of justice, a legal showdown is unfolding at the Shanzu Law Courts in Mombasa County after the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, the ODPP, opposed a move by blogger Bruce John to withdraw a sodomy and abduction charges against 4 county employees. The ODPP insists only the state can terminate such a serious
which don't override public interest in prosecution.
We'd also like to make reference to Section 40 of the Sexual Offence Act, which provides that matters of sexual offense are only withdrawn by the DPP. Bruce can write a formal letter to the Director of Public Prosecution, making his application to withdraw the matter and stating the reasons that he has said before court as to why he would like to withdraw this matter, considering that this is a matter of public interest.
It went further, calling the withdrawal request a hidden conspiracy, emphasizing that allowing the case to collapse could send a dangerous message about how justice for victims of sexual violence is handled.
We are also a bit concerned as to why the advocates watching brief, who are appointed by Mombasa Law Society and Law Society of Kenya, were not even aware that the nominal complainant in this matter, Mr. Bruce, was even going to withdraw his matter, but the counsels of the accused parties were aware. Yet he says that he has just come to court this morning. So we wonder how they are, but the rest of the advocates are not aware, not even us prosecution.
In response, defense lawyer Gerard Magolo, representing the 4 accused county officials, urged the court to respect Bruce's right to withdraw the complaint, citing Constitution provides room for a complainant to disengage from proceedings and asked the magistrate to exercise judicial discretion.
Section 203 provides that when the complainant is in court and the accused persons are in court on the day appointed for hearing, then the matter shall proceed. The prosecution therefore cannot have, or rather eat both his cake and have it. They cannot say they are unable to proceed when the complainant is present and they don't want him to proceed and withdraw.
Bruce Jones' attempt to withdraw this high-profile case raises more questions than answers. Why would a complainant step back from pursuing justice, especially when evidence of abuse is said to exist? As the court prepares to rule, this case now is no longer just a personal matter. It is now one of public interest, transparency, and judicial integrity.
Esther Mudhoni.
Rose Kaguku, KUTV, Nairobi.
Pertinent questions right there. Thank you, Rosca Gugu, for that report. Now, a new Wild Animal Protection report has exposed severe cruelty and illegal practices in Kenya's commercial wildlife farms. The probe found widespread suffering, public health risks, and illegal capture of wild animals laundered as captive breeds. The organization condemned the facilities and profit-driven exploitation rather than conservation, urging the government to shut down all of them and enforce wildlife laws. The ban and tourist interaction with wild animals. The report comes as Parliament debates a new wildlife law. All right, we take a short break right now, heading on to the sports section in a moment. Don't go too far.
But not totally. In every developed country, if you look at the world, around the world, you will actually find that they practice some sort of devolution. As it was, as I raised it earlier, much as we scrapped off Majimbo, we still went on into some soft sort of devolution. We are still enjoying a unitary government.
Katika mitindo ya kipwani hapa KUTV. Yaani tunapozungumzia mitindo ya kipwani basi unaona napigwa na mawimbi makali sana ya baharini kutoka katika ufuo wa hoteli moja inayofahamika kama North Coast Beach Hotel, ambao ndio wadhamini wa kipindi hiki cha mitindo ya kipwani. Penzi mtazamaji, kwenye mitindo ya kipwani hutakosa kupata mapishi ya vyakula vya kipwani. Yaani hapa tunazungumzia vyakula vilivyokolezwa na kukorombezwa. Iliki, karafuu, abdalasini, samaki wa baharini, vyakula vilivyopikwa na kusukwa kwa kutumia nazi. Bila kusahau mazungumzo ya moja kwa moja, mazungumzo ya kusisimua na wataalam tofauti, waandishi wa vitabu waliobobea, watunzi wa kuhani mashairi. Bila kusahau mpenzi mtazamaji, taratibu zetu za tarabu na chakacha. Yaani pale ni pale ambapo viuno vya wanawake vinazungushwa kisawasawa kama panga boy za trekta ndani ya KUTV mitindo ya kipwani. Ukiwa nami na hodha wako Waridi Tamu. Usiakose matamu jamani.
We are now smack into the sporting arena. We are going to look at matters concerning World Rally Championships, but with a twist. Now, Kenya marked the World Environmental Health Day with a tree planting expose in Kajiado, led by World Rally Champion Safari Rally Kenya. Now, the Kenya Forest Service and Heritage Brand White Cup, the initiative is a part of the rally's Greening Legacy project and has so far planted nearly 9 million trees in 20 counties, targeting 19 million within 3 years. Partners pledged their continued support for the biodiversity, sustainability, and climate action aligned with the government's 15 billion trees goal by 2032. No human rights without sign language rights. That is the theme of the International Deaf Awareness Month and Week, and it's something that we keeping right here in KUTV. Of course, Francis Okinyi ensuring that we are all inclusive. Inclusive is a step that is very necessary, particularly in our life as people. It's come to the end of our Friday of the KUTV Prime Time News. Of course, gratitude to the whole team involved in production of tonight's broadcast, led by the one Yvonne Kemumamunari, of course. The other side, ensuring everything is coming to you in a well-entailed manner. And of course, to you at home for keeping it KUTV. Continue enjoying our viewing. My name is Emmanuel Kutosi, and in the sign language interpretation, ensuring the inclusive tone, is Francis Okinyi. From us, it's good night, have a good weekend, and stay safe.